What's going on, everybody? It's your boy C-Zar, and we are talking about XLM Stellar Lumens today. Hit that like button, subscribe if you want to see more content like this, you guys, and let's get into it. Here we are at 26.266 cents right now, defying the odds, man, and seeing lower prices than what we've seen here. You are set up right now, I think, to see a very nice kind of double bottom maneuver. It just depends if you actually do, of course, maneuver from here and move up. Let's look at some indicators and see if there's any suggestions. Oh, right, we're not on the RSI one. Maybe I should pull it up over here. XLM, let's do it over here. You know what? We'll start off with this one. Let me look at the 4 hour. We'll zoom it down. Looking like you're probably still going down. 1 hour time frame, yeah. Looking like you still want to go down too. Trend is in full effect. On a 15-minute time frame, a little bit of a reversion there, but nothing probably too significant. So yes, you probably go lower is what this is saying. Let's see if this agrees. Okay, daily RSI in the oversold zone. Generally speaking, once you get oversold, you don't get out of it immediately, but you've already been in it for the past few days now, so it's very possible this could be it as far as like the lows go. If we take a low here to a high there, you're at your 1272 for support, came back up to your golden ratio, rejected, now you're back down to your 1272. It's very probable at this point that you actually would go to about 25.34 cents and potentially even down to about 22.88 cents. But that might be the lowest that I would expect you go. Let's just put a line there and see if there's any significance. Going back in time. Come on now. A little bit of turbulence here, right? You closed the day right there. You wicked from this area, whatever. Come on, let's see. Prior areas of resistance there. Hey, a little bit above there even. Some support areas. Some support here, resistance there. Okay, so it's not the most significant line in the world, but it's somewhat significant. We keep going back in time. Let's just see. Yeah, a little bit here and there, but not really anything too crazy. I could see it happening, right? It's significant enough. So 22.88 cents is the potential lowest that I'd give you. Of course, if you go lower than that, I think you're still going to be fine, but I just can't see you dropping too much more, right? If you drop too much more, you're going to break through the zero on this RSI, and you can't. You literally can't. So also, actually, on that note, zooming out on the RSI here, I know this might give you a headache. I don't know what else to say here. Let's just see at the low. You oftentimes don't go too much lower than this on the RSI. You definitely can, but if you notice this low here, that came in January 2019. Do you guys know what happened in January 2019? We were at our bear market bottom. We were near the bear market end, right? So here we are in the middle of a bull market. Even if you were to argue that we're in the beginning of a bear market, it's not the bear market end. Those low readings came in at the bear market lows or around the lows from a time perspective. So I actually think being in a bull market, we're at a very good chance, very good area to bounce here. We could go a little bit lower, but again, a little bit lower in the sense of 22.88 cents. That makes sense to me at the most, right? Resistance here, resistance there, prior areas of support, all in this golden ratio zone. Let's look at the 4 hour time frame and see if there's anything that agrees with that too. 4 hour time frame showing some bullish divergence. No, it is not. It is not showing bullish divergence. Is it? I don't know. Yeah, but no, I don't know. If anyone wonders why I'm saying no, it's because you have a lower low here, not you got a higher low here. Yes, it's diverging to some degree, but I wouldn't necessarily play off of that alone. From a low to a high here, 1272, 1414 there too. I will say it's not common. It's more common to wick through the 1414, but if you tip off of it, that can generally promote a good area to bounce from. It doesn't mean that you found your low. You definitely could go lower, but I wouldn't be surprised actually if that was it. If this 4 hour candle the next 2 hours 41 minutes closes green, and of course you recover from here. If it closes green and then you just go down on the next one, that's not encouraging, right? If you go green and then you get above the 886, 786 area, that's encouraging. You get above the golden ratio at about 28.1 cents. That would be encouraging. In other words, you guys, I think this would be the low. I would feel confident in that being the low if you can get back above 28.144 cents, okay? You get above there and you have your low. If you go lower and you get above there, you have your low. If you go even lower than that and you get above there, that's the line to verify wherever it is that you found your low is the low. And even then, even after validating it from a chart perspective, from a statistical point of view, you validate that that's your low up in this area, you still could go lower. You never know, right? Things are crazy sometimes in crypto. With a day, I mean, if this past week hasn't explained that enough, If we look at the overall pattern here on a weekly basis, XLM, stellar lumens, you are still firmly entrenched in this downward sloping trend on your overall bull flag pattern. For anybody out there who's an aspiring technical analyst, this is what you call a bull flag. It's a very classic, very normal pattern in the chart world. The way that you go about measuring the measure move here to expect where the price is going to take you when you break out of this pattern is you measure the flag pole, you put it at the base of the flag, and then that's your measure move. So that takes you all the way up to about $1.80, $1.90, something like that. That makes a lot of sense up there. You know, if we take a relative high here to the relative low, assuming that this is the low, you know, right around there is the 2272. Just below there is the 1886 at about $1.41. The measure move is just an idea. It is not a requirement. If you think it's a requirement, you could either get burned or miss out on potential gains, right? It's completely possible that you fall just shy of the measure move. It's completely possible that you destroy the measure move and go through it. And it's completely possible, of course, you could find resistance right at it. But on a fib perspective, it wouldn't make a whole lot of sense to me to stop right there. You're so close to the 2272. You would at least I think, hit $2. It's very common to even wick just a little bit above the 2272. So that's where I think you're going to go whenever this is all said and done, right? I'm not worried about XLM at all. I think it's going to be fine. At the lowest, maybe you drop to like 20 cents, something like that, maybe. But I like where you're at now. I really don't think that you go too much lower. But anything can happen. Let's just see where you're at on this vid. I mean, by the way that I do technical analysis, the way that this looks here, let's look at the daily time frame. Yeah, if you close today below this 382 and then tomorrow also closes below the 3, basically if between today and tomorrow you don't get a daily close that's above the 382, then it's statistically probable that you actually go all the way down to about 17 cents. Statistically probable. You very well could find support at the 0.5, but that's not a common thing to do. I will say this though, and I'm not just saying this for just to pull your leg, I'm saying this genuinely. A lot of cryptos have been finding support at their 0.5s or resistance. The 0.5 has been somewhat significant recently, so it's very possible 22 cents could hold this support, if not 17 cents. Or, of course, you could play out this double bottom look, in which case maybe you close here today, but then tomorrow you would have to get above the 382, or maybe you found your low today and by the end of today you pull all the way back up and close above it. Either way, if you can get above the 382 by the end of today or tomorrow, I'd be convinced that I wouldn't be convinced this is your low. I would be more convinced. I would be hopeful that it is your low, more hopeful than I am now. And once you get above the 236 at about 38.6 cents, to me that would validate that not only have you found a double bottom, not only are you moving up, but we are looking for new highs in respects to this. And when you break out of this overall bull flag pattern, your new highs are going to take you likely anywhere from about $1.80 to prices that are above $2. The highest expectation that I have by the end of this next move, which I expect to take place sometime by the end of March, if not by the end of April, the highest expectation I have is something around like $2.60, $2.70, I think. That's the, if we go back, let me just see, hold on. What is it? High to low here. $2.46, that doesn't sound right. What was it? I thought it was higher than that. 358, sure, maybe. I thought it was higher, but whatever. Yeah, 246. That's the highest expectation we have. You could go to 358, but I doubt it. I think in time you will. By the end of the cycle you will. But by the end of this move in March, April, I don't think so. Likely again, this move will end. I'm thinking like the last week of March or the first weeks of April. That's what I'm thinking. Nothing else. Hit the like button, subscribe. Thank you all for being here. I'll see you on the next one. Take care. Hugs and kisses. Bye bye.